after an outstanding 7-game road trip. They took 3 out of 4 games against the Diamondbacks, and 2 ninth-inning rallies in Los Angeles produced 2 more clutch wins. Now, winners of 12 of their last 15, the Braves look to keep the momentum and the wins rolling as they start a 7-game homestand. The Braves and the battling Buccos face off from Turner Field. It is great to be back home in Atlanta, Georgia, where tonight the Braves play at Turner Field and start a big 4-game series with the Pittsburgh Pirates. All year long, Braves baseball on Peachtree TV is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, and the low price. Hi again, friends, along with Joe Simpson and Tom Glavine. Chip Carey back at the ballpark. A great road trip for the Braves. Now, fellas, let's see if Atlanta can keep its momentum alive against the Jekyll and Hyde Pittsburgh Pirates tonight.
Yeah, the pitching for the Pirates has been pretty good. They're second in the majors with a 2.58 ERA. The last 7 games, their starters have posted a 1.67 ERA. But offensively, Joe, things haven't been quite as good.
No, I've got a list of things here. They're last in hits, last in doubles, last in on-base percentage, last in slugging. They're really struggling to score runs to support that good pitching. Let's hope the Braves pitchers can keep them down.
Sounds like a plan. It's going to be Tommy Hanson getting the ball for Atlanta in Game 1. A.J. Burnett pitches for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It'll be his second start in a Pirates uniform. Nice crowd on hand on Friday night. Our 4-game series starts right after this. Guys, obviously working with our team dance coordinator Tom Glavine on the off day. They're ready to go as the Braves and Pirates set for Game 1 of the series. Here's how Pittsburgh lines up for their skipper Clint Hurdle. Pittsburgh 8-10 and 3-6 so far on the road. Alex Presley's been swinging a hot bat. He's got a 10-game hitting streak. Neil Walker, a Pittsburgh native, had a terrific season last year. A.J. Burnett tonight makes his second start of the season. Tom?
And for the Braves, it'll be right-hander Tommy Hanson on the mound tonight, making his 5th start of the year, 2-2 with a 3.38 ERA. coming off a great start his last time out in Arizona. We went 7 innings, giving up 2 runs, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. He's 0-1 for his career against the Pirates.
And for Tommy Hanson tonight, his 4 keys to success. Let it sink in, baby. He's got that sinker working pretty good that he learned from Chris Medlin. And ruby slippers. Well, they got their ruby jerseys on. How's that? But ruby slippers, just keep clicking those heels, because there is no place like home. Even though the Braves got in yesterday morning at 7 a.m. from their trip to L.A., everybody talking about what a great trip it is. But keep in mind, the Braves were 5-1 on their first homestand, too.
And Freddie Gonzalez said the Braves played so well they might emotionally beat the plane back to Atlanta. It was a very exciting finish to the road trip. And Tommy Hanson off to a good start as he pumps in a strike to left fielder Alex Presley. That's a little low, says the home plate umpire tonight, Dana DeMuth. Kerwin Danley is at first base. Doug Eddings is at second. Paul Nauert, the umpire, at third. That almost hit the former University of Mississippi product, Alex Presley, who comes in with a 10-game hitting streak.
Yeah, as bad as their offense has been, there are some guys that are swinging hot bats. Presley's one of them. Garrett Jones, Andrew McCutcheon, Neil Walker. Those 4 guys all hitting over 300 the last 10 days.
And Joe, as you mentioned, for Pittsburgh, there's really nowhere to go but up offensively.
Yeah, again, last in runs, last in hits, doubles, RBIs, walks, on base percentage, slugging, and runs per game. All last and next to last in team average to San Diego.
Presley fought it off, stays alive. Count stays 2 balls, 2 strikes.
2.3 runs per game. In total runs, they've scored 41, 60 less than the Braves. That gives you some comparison.
Those are stats that as a pitcher, you don't want to hear it. You just want to ignore it and go out there and do your thing.
Presley's still alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Tommy, from the looks of things, the Pirates pitchers have done exactly that.
Yeah, well, they have. I mean, their pitching staff's done a good job. They've given them opportunities to win games, obviously, with the way they've been going, especially lately. Like I said in the open with the starters, the starting pitchers have been really good lately. So you have to keep that in mind. But again, Tommy Hanson and the rest of these guys don't get lulled into the fact that offensively their numbers aren't great.
And missed high and tight for a full count.
I know they had that streak going where they had not allowed more than 5 runs, nor had they scored more than 5 runs. Is that still in place?
Yes. All 18 games this year. That's the longest such streak in baseball history.
It's funny, usually a team, when you see a stat like the one I'm about to give you, it's usually they are 5-0 when they score 4 or more runs. No, with the Pirates, they're 5-0 when they score 4.
4 is their number?
Mm-hmm.
How about this leadoff at bat for Alex Presley? Hanson will throw his 10th pitch to him.
He's fighting off a lot of pitches that are balls, too.
Another foul ball straight back. Here's the Braves defense behind Hanson tonight. There's the Braves infield defense. Prado, Bourne, and Jason Hayward in the outfield. Ryan McCann works again behind the plate. And Tommy gets his man, but it took him 11 pitches to strike out Presley.
That was a good battle. Went back to that slider. Down and in off the hands. Good pitch. Starts out looking like a strike, and for a left-handed hitter, that down and in pitches looks so good. But that was a good one where he finished it in off of the plate, and Barker couldn't get the, or Presley, excuse me, couldn't get the bat on it.
Here's Clint Barmas, the former Rocky and former Astro. He's got 6 hits in his last 11 at bats. That's brought his average up to 122. And a little low, evens the count. One ball, one strike.
Tommy was on a real good roll, Tom, at the end of the Arizona game. He got off to a little bit of a rough start. Cost him a lot of pitches the first couple of 3 innings, and then he just settled in. Retired the last 13 in a row, and 18 of the last 20 he faced. And a lot of that, I'll say, was very much like the way Minor and Beachy had been pitching, in that he got command of his fastball and started hitting both sides of the plate.
Well, and that's the key. I don't care who you are and what you're doing. I mean, you have to pitch to some extent off your fastball, and I think that's especially true for all these guys. And if you can locate, as a starting pitcher, if you can locate your fastball, it makes a lot of other stuff so much better.
That's fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And talking with Tommy after that start in Phoenix, he said it took him a while to get his fastball command. He just couldn't grip the baseball. Very dry atmosphere. He said it took him a couple of innings to get enough of a lather working that he could actually feel the ball off his fingertips.
And that's part of growing up. You learn how to survive that and keep going until you find it.
Defensive swing by Barmas, and Hansen retires him for the second out. Here's McCutchen, a bona fide star in the making for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's their center fielder. And McCutchen, a .329 average.
An exciting player to watch. He is worth the price of admission no matter where the Pirates are playing.
Pirates media guide said, Joe, last year McCutchen finished second in the National League in RBIs. He had 89. Matt Kemp 126.
Well, I think it's unfortunate from the Pirates standpoint that he can't be their leadoff guy. He does such a good job of getting on, high on base percentage, steals bases, on top of driving in runs. But he is so dangerous and can set the table so well for this club. If they had someone else that could fill the middle of the order, they've got to use him in the middle of the order to help drive in runs. Clint Hurdle had his club in pretty good shape when they came into Atlanta last year.
A couple of extra inning wins by the Braves against Pittsburgh really took the steam out of the Pirates. They came into town in first place and never recovered. And a high fly ball to right. And that will take care of the Pirates in the top of the first inning. 22 pitches for Tommy Hansen. A.J. Burnett to the mound for the first time tonight. Gonzalez ready to unleash the bats against A.J. Burnett. And it all starts with Braves leadoff man again tonight, Michael Bourne, who's been on a terrific run in the leadoff spot. Chipper Jones back in after the long plane ride home. And Jason Hayward, Tyler Pastornicki, and Tommy Hanson the lower third against A.J. Burnett.
A.J. Burnett will be making his second start on the year for the Pirates. He's 1-0 on the season. First game of the year against St. Louis. Pitched pretty well. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 7 strikeouts. 1-7 in 11 career starts here in Atlanta.
Still a tough hombre. His 4 keys to success. This has been a house of horrors, as you just said, Tom. 1-7 at Turner Field. And you know what? When the Braves were trying to sign you as a free agent, you should have signed. Went to the Yankees. You didn't have any fun there. They traded you to Pittsburgh. You might still be pitching. You might be pitching tonight in the Braves uniform if you'd have taken the offer.
1 ball, no strikes. But maybe these numbers gave A.J. Burnett pause in this ballpark.
5.08 to go with a 1-7.
Definitely didn't subscribe to the if you can't beat him, join him theory, I guess.
No, he didn't. But always tough. Always capable of pitching a terrific game as he did in that first start against the Cardinals when he shut him out for 7 innings. Throws hard, still throws in the low to mid 90s. Good curveball.
And Michael Bourne drives a shot into right field. And he'll make the big turnaround first and slam on the brakes. 6th time in the last 7 games Michael Bourne has been on in a Braves offensive first inning.
Braves have been doing a great job of getting on base with their leadoff man, no matter what inning it is or who it is that comes up to lead off innings. Tops in the National League.
Martin Prado, the Braves left fielder tonight, at .254 for the season. This game, fellas, a matchup of 2 very good right-handed pitchers, but also a matchup of 2 guys that really struggle to hold runners.
You would assume that both teams will try to take advantage of that.
Yeah, you know that was talked about on both sides, I'm sure, in terms of the running game, that both of these guys have a tough time holding guys.
Michael 7 out of 10 this year in stolen base attempts.
The good hook. When I was talking about, if you didn't know about A.J. Burnett should have signed, well, the Braves were courting him pretty heavily before the 09 season. And he might have used the Braves a little bit for some leverage when he got his deal with the Yankees, and the Braves then turned their attention to Derek Lowe and signed him.
Nice stop by Barajas. That keeps Bourne at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And Burnett has thrown a no-hitter in his career, too. I think he walked 9 that night against the Padres.
Yeah, San Diego.
Yep. Yeah, he's always been talked about in that vein as a guy that has no-hit stuff on any given night, but like we talked about, is whether or not he can command it.
He had no spring training. Early in camp, practicing bunting, he fouled a ball off the bat right into his eye, suffered a fracture in his orbital bone, had to have surgery.
And Martin took a breaking ball and is down on strikes.
A lot of guys in the lineup are seeing A.J. Burnett for the first time. Martin's one of them. So that hook fooled him. McCann, Ugla, Chipper, the only guys in the lineup, in the middle of the lineup, that have faced him before.
And that's going to be his out pitch against the righties. He's going to try and either get him to chase that one off the plate, the pitch before that Martin checked his swing on, or that one where he started a little bit more at Martin, trying to get him to freeze it, or try to freeze him, get him to take it.
Strike one to Freddie Freeman.
Against lefties, you'll see him backdoor that breaking ball a little bit more for a strike and then try to throw it down and in at their feet, finishing out of their zone for his strikeout pitch.
No surprise that Freddie Freeman swung at the first pitch from A.J. Burnett, despite the fact that he's never faced him before, because he swings at more first pitches than anybody in either league.
See now, after that fastball away for strike two, if he'll go to the scouting report here and try and run that slider down and in off the plate, or maybe take a shot at pushing him off the plate with a fastball in. There it was, breaking ball.
And that's 2 strikeouts in a row. And Brian McCann's coming up.
And this probably caught a little bit more of the plate that he wanted, but he finishes down out of the zone. It looks like a strike for a little while out of his hand to the hitter, and it's such a hard breaking ball that it's tough for the hitters to lay off of it. That's one they're going to really have to try to get him to elevate and get him to hang it in the zone a little bit.
Yeah, and that's one area with respect to Freddie's aggressiveness that I don't necessarily agree with, right or wrong, that when you haven't seen a guy, you've never seen the ball out of his hand before, to go up there and just be freewheeling it on that first pitch, especially a guy with the experience of A.J. Burnett, you're likely to put yourself in a hole where you're forced to swing at a bad pitch.
I'll guarantee you again, that was talked about in the scouting report. Freddie would be one of those guys that you would red flag as being it's 0-2 the minute he gets in the box because he's swinging.
Foul back by Braves catcher Brian McCann.
Pirates did not have a shift on for Brian in the first 2 pitches, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, we forgot. And the third baseman is going over to play shallow right field.
Well, either that or they said, hey, if we get 1-1, let's try this. So here we are at 1-1. I'm saying they forgot.
So, yeah, Brian's got the whole left side of the infield. Bourne's running, and Brian rips it foul.
After the count went 1-1, they're in a pretty straight alignment. I was about to say, hey, Brian's got to be excited. There's no shift on tonight. And lo and behold, Alvarez goes running to right field.
Don't be surprised. You saw Michael Bourne take off right there, and I didn't see anybody even think about going to third base. So if he's successful on this steal, don't be surprised if he takes a peek and just keeps on going.
He's going again. Got a great jump, and Brian McCann took a belt high fastball at 95 miles an hour, and that retires the side. Burnett strikes out the side in a scoreless first. Love it. A little wave for Michael Bourne, and that kid's showing Michael his speed.
I just love the fact that he was starting in and then he stopped and turned around to make sure Michael saw him wave by. See you later.
You want to leave without saying his proper goodbyes.
Yeah.
So we scoreless after one as we welcome you back to Friday Night Braves baseball on Peachtree TV. It's presented by Blimpie. Tommy Hanson goes to work in his second inning against Garrett Jones, the Pittsburgh right fielder. Jones has some pop. He's hit 3 home runs.
Jose Tabata gets a lot of the playing time in the outfield for the Pirates, along with McCutchen and Presley. But nothing wrong with him tonight. Just an effort by Clint Hurdle to get Jones in there and get him some ABs.
That's into the seats, foul. Hey, great catch.
And everybody behind him very happy.
Might have saved some dental work there.
Right above the dugout.
That fan from Villarica made a great catch.
There you go. No, Jones was originally a Brave draft choice. Atlanta took him in the 14th round in 1999. He was waived in May of 2002. Then Minnesota got him as a minor league free agent. And he went to Pittsburgh, and now he'll go to the Pittsburgh bench after striking out to start the second inning. This is Neil Walker, local Pittsburgh kid, getting a chance to play for his hometown Pirates.
On our Academy Sports and Outdoor Leaderboard, here's another example. If you want to look at some of the problems for the Pittsburgh offense, their team 11 homers, 38 RBIs, and 3 through 6 for the Braves alone have more homers and RBIs. A little futility so far for their offense. Clint Hurdle, a good hitting coach in his own right, trying with Greg Ritchie, their hitting coach, try to get them going.
But if baseball, guys, is all about weathering the storms that crop up during a 6-month regular season, you'd have to say the Pirates have done a pretty good job of that. With no offense at all, they're still 8-10.
Yeah, and only 3.5 out.
Yeah, that's where that pitching has put them in a position where they haven't had to score a bunch of runs and able to sneak a few wins out.
That and their defense. Their defense has been really good lately, too. They haven't made an error in their last 46 innings.
Dangerous count coming from Tommy Hanson. 3 balls and a strike. Warm day in Atlanta today. The wind is blowing out toward right center field at Turner Field. And a line drive into center field is the first base hit of the game for Pittsburgh.
That swing looked like some Braves swings lately, where they've done a good job on fastballs of keeping their hands inside the baseball, inside the pitch. Neil Walker just did the same thing. Good looking young hitter, and really barreled that one up.
Joe, you mentioned the Pirates looking for a middle of the order presence. Maybe the guy in the batter's box is their hope for that. Pedro Alvarez, former #1 pick out of Vanderbilt, Has hit 4 homers, has 6 RBIs, but still a 156 batting average.
Yeah, they're still waiting. They see glimpses of it. Better numbers certainly there in his last half dozen games.
Runner goes, line caught by Dan Uggla. Flipped to first in time for a double play. That encapsulates the year for the Pirates offensively. Dan Uggla in the right place at the right time to double up Walker, Alvarez, and the Pirates. Middle of the Braves order coming up in the second inning. Still no score. Sports and Outdoors, by AT by Delta Airlines, and by Ford. Joe, Tom, and Chip back at Turner Field. No score. Second inning. Heart of the Atlanta order coming up. It'll start with Dan Uggla, then Chipper Jones, and then Jason Hayward. Dan had a terrific road trip at the plate. His average for the year at 264, 3 homers, 11 knocked in. High fly ball toward right. Jones going back. He's going to have a room on the warning track. Dan gave it a ride, but he's retired for the first out.
High fastball looked like, and you all know how good a hitter Uggla is on high fastballs. That one might have gotten in on him just a little bit, and he still almost hit it out.
Here's Chipper. You mentioned, Joe, how little the Braves have seen of A.J. Burnett. That doesn't apply to Chipper Jones, who's faced him an awful lot, and with very good success.
Yeah, good numbers against him. Chipper was 4 for 15 on the road trip, including a homer. I think what I've always liked about A.J. Burnett, Tom, is just his arm action. It's a real loose, easy arm action. Nice kind of a nice high kick and body turn, and a good finish.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty simple mechanics. I mean, maybe a little bit more turn than you would see with some guys, which The only problem with that is picking your target back up, but for the most part, pretty free and easy, pretty repeatable for him, and it makes you wonder why sometimes he has such a hard time throwing strikes. I would imagine, looking at him and knowing what kind of, sometimes it's got to just be that his stuff is so good that he can't get it in the zone enough.
122 wins, 111 losses. And last year with the Yankees, 11 and 11, and an ERA over 5.
Walker at second to a knee, and that retires Chipper for out number 2. Time for our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot as Jason Hayward's coming up.
Terrific numbers against the Pirates in just 12 games. Let's hope that continues in this 4-game series.
Driven center. McCutchen going back, though, will have room, and that retires the side. Burnett's retired the last 6 Braves hitters, and we head to the 3rd inning. Still no score.
Ranked #1 in customer satisfaction nationwide year after year. Experience all the comfort and amenities you expect at an unexpectedly low price. Jameson Inn, Southern hospitality at its best.
As you see on the Acura scoreboard, we have no score. Bottom of the order for Pittsburgh against Brave starter Tommy Hanson. It'll be Casey McGee, Rod Barajas, and then A.J. Burnett.
That was a good pickup, I think, for them. Solid hitter. Got him from the Brewers for Jose Veras. After the Brewers signed Aramis Ramirez, there really wasn't any place for McGee. And he had a little bit of an off year last year for Milwaukee. He hit just .223, but he's a .265 major league hitter.
This ball driven foul down the right field line. 2 balls and a strike.
Sorry, Chip, just 2 years ago, 23 homers, 104 RBIs for the Brewers.
Must have forgot his razor in Milwaukee, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now 2-2.
Braves have a little mini shift on for him.
And he tries to spoil it. Little flare into shallow right. That's going to drop in front of Hayward. And McGee, a bloop single, is the second Pittsburgh base runner.
Well, if you're going to play him to pull, you got to kind of pitch to that defense, and Tommy didn't there. I don't know if it's by accident or not, but that was running one away from him.
Yeah. Breaking ball, he tried to throw down and away, and a little bit up in the zone. Yeah, that's always tough when you put a shift on somebody like that from a pitching standpoint. When you get to a situation like that where you're trying to put a guy away with a pitch that doesn't necessarily line up with how you're trying to defend him. I know that for me at times, obviously, you'd always play guys around because I was away, and it'd always be in the back of your mind that one time you wanted to sneak a pitch on the other side of the plate, thinking, boy, don't make a mistake because we're going to have guys running forever if you do.
He doesn't have to waste a lot of time throwing over there on McGee unless they try another hit and run play.
Yeah, the only way he's going to run is if you just totally forget about him. So
yeah, he can't run out of sight in 2 days. He's, let's say, just speed inhibited.
0-2.
Does he even have a stolen base? Yes, one.
As I heard Chip's dad say famously about Eddie Perez one day, his speed is deceptive. He's much slower than he looks.
No balls, 2 strikes. Barajas pops this ball up at first.
It's funny, we were talking the other day about some things that Chipper was quoted in the LA paper, or maybe it was online, I forget, about some of his best pitchers he faced and some of his favorite ballparks. And they said, well, who's your all-time favorite teammate? He said, Eddie Perez. He said, I played with him from the time I first started playing, and he was always the class clown, and I admire and respect him. And Eddie said, no, he always says that because I'm the guy who always had to catch the pop-ups between home and third.
Burnett gets the bunt down, and Freddie Freeman will make the play to first. Moral victory for Burnett, advances a runner, and Tom didn't hurt himself.
Didn't hurt himself, exactly right. See, bunting can be dangerous.
Bob Walk, former Brave, former Pirates pitcher who does their TV work for the Pittsburgh team, said in his first game in Pittsburgh the other day against St. Louis, he squared around in a sacrifice situation, and the fans were going, no, no. There's Bob.
So back to the top we go, and Alex Presley had a very impressive first inning at bat. 11 pitches before Tommy struck him out. He has been their hottest hitter. Again, a 10-game hitting streak working.
There's another one of those last in the league categories.
That pitch is starting to get a little more bite. 1-2.
That's a good pitch right there. Fastball in. You follow it up with that. Hitter thinks for a second it's the same pitch. Thinks you're coming hard in again, and next thing you know, you're swinging at something on your shoe tops.
Nice stop. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Short hop played off Uggla's chest. He recovers, throws, not in time. Late call at first by Kerwin Danley. McGee's at third. Presley's at first. And is Freeman all right?
I hope he didn't mess up that knee that he hurt in spring training.
Get stepped on the outside of his foot.
That might have been it too. Now this was an odd call by Kerwin Danley. Maybe he kicked his glove hand on the way by, because Kerwin Danley leaned back and looked around, looked like the base runner, to see if Freddie caught the ball, and he did, and then called him safe. But it was like he was looking to see if he caught it to call him out.
Yeah, it was almost too like it. You see him do that sometimes on a ground ball right down the line where you're trying to see if it was fair or foul, and it's the home plate umpire's call. It's like he was waiting for a minute, but obviously that wasn't the case. But
I think he got the call right. He was safe, but right here he's looking like, did you catch it? And then still called him safe. It was just odd, but he got it right.
Tell you what, Presley got down the line in a hurry.
And he's got a home run this year, and that was an inside the park home run for the Pirates. He settles for what I believe should be an infield hit. Still waiting for the official scoring on the play. And you can see the left hand of Freddie Freeman. He's still squeezing that hand, trying to get some
feeling. I couldn't tell
feeling.
where he kicked him or stepped on him.
I think he kicked him on the way by.
Kicked him on the glove hand, it looked like.
So it is an infield hit. Runners at the corners for Barmes. Popped up. Will it stay in play? Freeman in front of the Braves dugout is there, and that retires the side. Pittsburgh gets 2 hits and nothing else. Still no score at Turner Field.
Freeman here. He was showing Eric Hinsky his hand or forearm as he had to reach back for this throw. It looked like Presley kicked him right there as he went by, as Freddie was unable to get his arm out of the way from that on that throw. No spike wound, just a kick. Hopefully it's okay.
That's a dangerous play. Been a whole host of first basemen who've had really bad injuries with collisions with on-charging base runners. Over at first base, looks like Freddie's all right, as Pasternicki, Hansen, and Michael Bourne coming up in the Atlanta third. Tyler had some big hits on the road trip. He's got his average up to 234, a homer, 4 RBIs. Promptly, Burnett behind in the count, 3 balls and a strike. Can you outweight this guy, Tommy, Burnett?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can. You know, especially in this situation, the eighth hitter, got the pitcher on deck. You're probably going to make him throw 2 strikes.
He couldn't. There's a start. His first walk. Now Tommy Hansen's coming to the plate. Delta Airlines is a proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves. And now Hansen hits. Tommy 1 for 7 on the year. Think about AJ Burnett. He does have that no-hitter. As Joe also said, 9 walks in that no-hit ball game. And all of a sudden, can't find the strike zone. Braves trying to give him an out.
And that's the last thing you want to do when you have an offense that's struggling. The last thing you want to do is walk the 8th hitter and give the opposing pitcher a chance to move a guy over with an out and let the top of the order go back to work. So that's a walk that he's going to be kicking himself about.
Braves pitchers did a good job, Tom, on the road of on this road trip of getting bunts down. Tommy has one. It was in Arizona in his last start. I can only remember really one instance. I think it was Mike Minor that couldn't get a runner moved up, but every other opportunity they were successful.
Runner goes. The bunt is beautiful. And there's only one play. First Brave in scoring position tonight is Tyler Pasternicki, and it comes with 1 out.
One of the drills the Braves do before batting practice now is have the pitchers out to bunt off a pitching machine, a wheel machine that zips it in there pretty fast. So there's more game type situations because it is hard as opposed to soft tossing coach.
Talking with Tim Hudson about that. He said that pitching machine could win 20 games. Boy, is it good to see him back on the Braves dugout bench and ready for action.
He'll go Sunday.
Now an even count to Michael Bourne, who already has a single tonight.
How about this for Michael Bourne on the road trip? He had 407 on the trip and went 0 for his last 7.
That was one question that everybody in Braves country was asking. Okay, Atlanta got Michael Bourne at the deadline last year. What kind of an effect would he have on the offense for a full season? He's been outstanding. Michael scored 12 runs in 19 games, 7 out of 10 in steals. A little roller right side. Burnett to the bag, does his job. Pasternicki to third with 2 outs for Martin Prado.
It's good to be at third base, though. With the way AJ Burnett tries to bury that breaking ball, we've already seen Barajas make a couple of nice stops down and into lefties. You never know, he might throw one away.
He's no stranger to the wild pitch.
Martin took a called third his first time up. right, Tom, about A.J. Burnett being wild from time to time.
Wow. Well, that's either really good stuff or not such good location. One of the two. But definitely in A.J.'s case, part of that is that's just having really good stuff.
Line drive, base hit right field, and the Braves lead. That is vintage Martin Prado.
First pitch was a breaking ball like the one he took for a called third strike, only he didn't throw it for a strike. He wanted Martin to flinch. Prado didn't flinch. Now he gets a fastball up and away. He does such a good job of getting up on the same plane as that pitch and not taking his bat up to it.
Yes, like I said, you hate walking any leadoff hitter in an inning, but especially when you walk the 8th place hitter and allow that pitcher to lay down a sacrifice bunt, and Martin with the big 2-out base hit.
Big swing for Freddie Freeman. Again, we showed you swings at the first pitch nearly 60% of the time. And is behind 0-1. Another line drive into right field. Prado around the second base bag. He'll make it without a throw. Something else, guys, that Freddie Gonzalez was very excited about was the way this club is running the bases in the first 20 games.
I love all the first to thirding. And just heads up base running too, taking advantage of some outfielders or some teams who aren't as aggressive charging the ball.
Yeah, I think sometimes you equate base running and base stealing as having a team full of guys that really run fast, and that's not always the case. Sometimes a lot of your best base runners are guys that are kind of somewhere in the middle. They learn how to get a good jump. They learn how to read where the ball is, and they know when outfielders are playing deep, and they can take advantage of either their position in the outfield or a poor arm. And that's something that the Braves certainly have done a good job of.
So back-to-back 2-out hits. Brings Brian McCann, and he takes the ball a long way the other way. But Presley is there, and that retires the side.
And they were playing very deep.
A leadoff walk comes back for Atlanta. Tyler Pasternicki scores the first run of Game 1 of the series. The Pittsburgh Pirates. That's our Chase scoreboard. And here's a look at Andrew McCutchen. I tell you what, two very exciting center fielders on display in this series. Michael Bourne for Atlanta, Andrew McCutchen for the Pirates.
I would say that these two guys rank in the top 3 or 4 in the National League in center fielders, and I put Matt Kemp, Shane Victorino in that class, and that's a real good class to be in. They're among the best.
No, I think anytime you're Anytime you're being talked about as among the best at any position on the field, you're doing some things right. And certainly these two guys are doing a lot of good things respectively for their ball clubs.
And McCutchen up the middle on the first pitch. And he's aboard representing the potential tying run. Here's a look at indeed center stage the numbers this year for McCutchen and Michael Bourne.
They'll probably both lead their respective teams in runs scored, even with McCutchen batting third. Such a good offensive player. Yeah, he just swung at the first pitch. He is right in there behind Freddie Freeman at swinging at first pitches, where Freeman was right at 58.2. You might have seen on that graphic. McCutchen was second at almost 47%, and he's 2 for 2 tonight in that category.
And 4 out of 6 in stolen bases. Again, the rule that applies for A.J. Burnett applies for Tommy Hanson. Both men have allowed 84 stolen bases since the 2009 season. And on the first pitch, McCutchen's on the move, and he'll steal second easily. That's his 5th stolen base, and he's in scoring position with nobody out.
A guy like McCutchen causes everybody to hurry. The pitcher hurries, the catcher hurries. Brian McCann got a pretty good pitch to throw on, but he knows he doesn't have any room for wasted time or effort, and it forced a not so good throw from him. Not that he would have gotten him, but it just puts pressure on the defense. And likewise, Michael Bourne does the same thing when he gets on.
Pop fly, foul ground. Chipper gives chase and is 1 row short.
Another good glove work. Nice play, sir.
He's from Valdosta.
2 balls and a strike. Golf down the right field line, and that's going to tie the game. Garrett Jones went down and got a pitch from Tommy Hanson, and Pittsburgh has evened the game at 1. 7th RBI for Jones.
Good choice by his manager to put him in there tonight. Ties the game up on this pitch down and in. He wasn't trying to do too much with that, Tommy. Trying to get the runner over.
Yeah, that's the case where you're just trying to do the right thing and you end up with a base hit. Like you say, he's just trying to hit a worst case scenario, ground ball to the right side, move the runner over, but got enough of it to loop it into right field and get himself a base hit.
Here's where Tommy could use a ground ball. Pirates have hit into 14 double plays, including 1 tonight. And it's Neil Walker who's hit into the most for the Pirates club. He's bounced into 4 double plays. One ball, 1 strike. Jones on a ball in the dirt, tried to take second and got in. Tyler Pasternak can't believe that.
Neither can I. Nice play by Brian to block the ball. Pounced on it. Made a good throw. I thought it was a no-brainer, but it was a lot closer than I thought.
So 2-1 for Walker. RBI chance for the Pirates second baseman. Now 3 balls and a strike. Jones advances on a wild pitch. Ground ball to second. Good at bat. Runner at third, 1 out. Pedro Alvarez will be the batter. And all season long, Braves baseball on Peachtree TV is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff and the low price. Alvarez hit the ball right on the button in the second inning. He lied out to Dan Uggla. Neil Walker was running on that play and was doubled up easily to retire the side. Now Atlanta brings the infield in a 4th inning tie game and 1 man out.
It's not that Freddie Gonzalez thinks that the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to score a ton of runs and you got to cut off everyone you can. It's just that their pitching's been good. I'm not sure how many you can push across tonight. So why give them a freebie? From the Department of Too Many Stats, here's one for you. The percentage of swings that players take and miss. Pedro Alvarez the most. Giancarlo Stanton, formerly Mike Stanton of the Marlins, is second. Dan Uggla third. It was a swing and a miss right here.
No such luck. 3 balls and a strike. Yeah, Giancarlo made much more contact when he was named Mike.
I noticed that.
Has he?
This guy 18 strikeouts in 46 at bats.
Alvarez takes a walk, and that's really tough to do for this Pirate club. Including tonight's action, this lineup, the starting 8, has a grand total of 85 strikeouts and 20 walks.
And only the second one for Alvarez. Not a bad thing to happen here with just 1 out because of the guy at the plate who is a very slow runner, as we pointed out, and ground ball will get you 2.
He's wrapped into 1 double play. Brian McCann out with the defensive instructions.
Yeah, I think in that situation right there, you know, Tommy's approach is you got a guy at the plate that doesn't walk a lot, strikes out a lot. Let's throw some pitches up here and see if he'll chase, see if he'll get himself out, get a strikeout, finish the inning. If not, you walk him and set up a ground ball double play.
Ooh, what was wrong with that pitch?
Low, I guess. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball 2.
Does it seem like he's throwing a lot of breaking balls, Tom?
Yeah, it seems like he's throwing a bunch. I don't know if that's a hard slider. I mean, sometimes I'm saying, I'm trying to figure out if it's a slider or if it's just a fastball that he's cutting and missing with his location a little bit.
He's missed with 3 straight. Barajas, the catcher, waits on deck. Pitch is piling up for Tommy. This will be the 69th he's thrown in the game. Remember, Alex Presley started with 11 pitches. And now they are loaded with 1 out. First visit from Roger McDowell tonight.
Tommy, you and I were looking at a number at the same time tonight for Tommy Hanson that I wasn't aware of, and those are his home and road splits that are remarkably close.
Yeah, you don't often see it. You don't often see it that close. Usually, most of the time, you see guys with a little bit better numbers at home. But in this case, there's no advantage for Tommy to being home or on the road, which I guess is a good thing. But
that's consistent.
Yeah, we'll see now if he gets back to pitching off his fastball a little bit more here.
Grounded toward third. Chipper will step on the bag. Toss across. Wide throw. Freeman the tag. Pitcher's best friend, right, Tommy? By Blimpie and by Georgia Power. Tommy Hanson just got a big double play ball with the bases loaded for the Pirates in the 4th. That keeps the game tied 1-1. And here is tonight's McDonald's fan of the game.
It's a good look there.
I must say, our crew looked long and hard for the little girl with the red hair last year who was screaming, "Let's go Pirates" for 19 innings. But I believe she's been banned from the state of Georgia for this 4-day series.
Well, she might be here, but until we get to the 19th inning when the crowd thins out, we won't be able to hear her because it's a loud group. Big crowd tonight.
Dan Uggla takes ball one from Burnett. Uggla, Chipper, and Jason Hayward coming up in the Braves' fourth. And that 19-inning game last year, we touched on it earlier, was really a turning point in the season for the Pirates. They came to Atlanta in first place. Lost not one but two extra inning games back to back, and frankly were never the same. They were 19-43 the rest of the season for Clint Hurdle.
They won 72 games for the year, and that was the most they had won since 2004. They also won 72. Good ERA, tied for first, went from 0 to 24 back.
That would be a tailspin there.
And Dan Uggla's down on strikes, and maybe the biggest play of the year for the Pirates came on a very controversial call at the plate.
Jerry Meals was the home plate umpire, and he said Julio Lugo got in there, and that the catcher, McNerney, on the swipe effort, missed the tag.
So they lost that game 4-3 in 19 innings. Lost the next day to the Braves 2-1.
Well, that play at the plate put them in a tailspin last year, and another play at the plate put them in a tailspin for a whole bunch of years.
Over toward first. And Chipper Jones is the second out. And it's a tailspin that the Pirates and their faithful were hoping would end this year. It has been a long time since the Pirates have sniffed postseason play.
And it's not just that they haven't been in the postseason, guys. They haven't had a 500 or better season since the season of Sid Bream's slide.
It's just
been a long time.
Really hard to believe.
The most wins they've had in a season since then is 79. They finished 4 games under 500 back in 1997, and actually finished second in the division with that record. And I just mentioned they went 72 and 90 last year. In 2010, just the year before that, they lost 105 games. So Clint Hurdle did a good job with this club last year. It's just they just really faded after that tough series here in Atlanta.
One and two to Jason. He fly to center back in the Braves' second inning. Now 2-2. I mean, it seems almost mathematically impossible, but like the case of the Braves, to win 14 straight division titles. Same's true for the Pirates to have that many losing years back to back. You'd think just out of luck you'd finish 81 and 80 with a rainout in a season. But
they're hoping for that, the rainout or otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, that's unbelievable dry spell. Little high to Jason, runs the count full, 3-2. The Pirates try to do it with their young players. Pedro Alvarez, Presley, McCutchen. Time will tell if it works. And Hayward, after falling behind in the count, works a 2-out walk.
Well, he's a perfect 6 for 6 in stolen bases. Barajas behind the plate's only 1 for 8 so far this year, throwing out base stealers, and we showed you that Burnett's right there with Hansen in terms of allowing stolen bases. I know it's the bottom of the order, but he gets in scoring position. They pitch around Pasternak. He maybe clear the pitcher for the 5th inning.
And Jason's gone on first move a lot. Not this time. Strike 1.
On a lot of breaking balls. Maybe you pick the right pitch when he's going to throw another one. By the way, striking out the side in the first inning. Actually, on the second strikeout of Freddie Freeman, that pushed Burnett over 1,800 strikeouts in his career. Seventh active pitcher with at least that many.
That is a foul ball. Tyler still in the right-hand batter's box when that ball bounced up and hit him.
Just before he stepped out.
Now he runs the pitch high, the throw to second, way late. Jason 7 for 7.
Ties Jason Board for the team lead. Crossover step. As a pitcher here, Tom, you got the 8th place hitter behind in the count. No reason really not to go after him, is there?
No, there's no reason not to. You've got 2 strikes on him. You certainly want to try and put yourself in a position with that pitcher leading off the next inning. So he took a couple shots with his breaking ball, went back to a fastball up in the zone there. So see if he comes back with that breaking ball. The previous 2, he hasn't been able to get him to finish off the plate like he did to Martin. Those last 2 have been a little bit more on the plate. So see if he tries to go a little bit further.
Flipping line drive over second, in for a hit. Hayward around third. He's going to score. Another big 2-out hit.
I think Tyler Pasternak gained so much from that 3-hit night, 3-for-3 night with a walk in LA that it's just going to pay huge dividends for him. Doesn't matter the count. He's still trying to go the other way, and he got one right off the end of the bat and had just enough on it.
And way too good a pitch in my estimation. I'm not sure why you'd throw him a fastball for a strike right there. And particularly with a young hitter, you want to see if he can hit a breaking ball or hit an off-speed pitch.
Grounded foul past first off the bat of Tommy Hansen, who now leads the game 2-1. But maybe that's the mystery of A.J. Burnett in a nutshell.
Could be. Got a breaking ball nobody can hit and didn't throw it to the 8th place hitter. Statistician to the Stars Laser Baker just handed me a note that Jason Hayward's 7th steal last year came on September 9th.
A little ahead of last year's pace.
A little ahead.
That missed outside. Burnett thought it was good enough for strike 3. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now it's Burnett's turn to pile up a few pitches. Nice save by Barajas. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's right down the middle, and that retires the side. A.J. Burnett has walked 2 men. Both of them have scored. The Braves have cashed in 2 big 2-out hits. This one from Tyler Pasternicki. It's a 2-1 game as we enjoy our Blimpie game summary. Tommy Hanson and A.J. Burnett are pitching. And here's how the scoring took place tonight. In the 3rd inning, a leadoff walk to Tyler Pasternicki. Martin Prado cashed that in with an RBI single, his 12th RBI. In the 4th inning, Garrett Jones came back, haunted his former club. His RBI single brought home Andrew McCutcheon, who had singled and stolen a base. And just a second ago, Tyler Pasternicki, over the outstretched glove of Neil Walker, brought home Jason Hayward, who walked and stole a base. And that's where we stand, heading to the 5th inning with A.J. Burnett, the pitcher, leading things off.
Retire him would be a good start to a shutdown inning. Something he wasn't able to do after the Braves scored in the 3rd. Pirates got their run in the 4th.
Two balls, no strikes. Top of the hour here in Braves country. Hope you're enjoying the game. 2-1 Braves. Come on, Tommy. 3-2. That's more like it. Good start to the 5th inning.
Fans come out to Alumni Weekend June the 8th through the 10th as the Braves face the Blue Jays. On Friday night, be here to watch Braves retire John Smoltz, number 29, excuse me, in a pregame ceremony on the field. For details, visit braves.com/Smoltz or call 800-745-3000. Man, oh man.
You did it on purpose, though. I mean, just to irritate him.
Of course I did.
Well, since he's not here, I'll retort for him. He gave me another joke.
Oh, God, no, please.
Here's Alex Presley. A bunt, and it is beautiful. Wow.
Awesome.
Another infield hit for Presley, his 2nd of the night. That's something else that the Pirates offense has relied on this year.
Even with Chipper playing in on the grass, to just roll it right on the edge there, about halfway between McCann and Chipper, and have it die there, that's just spectacular touch.
Brian made that a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Most in the majors, infield hits.
So Barmes the batter. 1 on, 1 out. Barmes is 0 for 2 tonight.
I mean, they've already hit into 2 double plays. One was a line drive double play on a hit and run. But I mean, if I'm Clint Hurdle, I'm running with these guys just to try to avoid double plays and hope to get some single runs on 2 out hits.
Force the action. Why not? Strike 1.
Well, when you're last in virtually every offensive category, I don't guess moving guys around is going to hurt any, is it?
No.
There he goes. Pitch out. McCann, plenty of time and a perfect throw. I mean, absolutely perfect, right on the bag.
This will be our Zaxby's indescribably good play here, because a lot of times on a pitch out, catchers get so excited and so fired up they can't make a good throw. But not this time. Brian McCann put it right on the base. All Dan Uggla has to do is catch it and hold it. Well done.
So Barmes now with the bases empty and a count of 2 balls and a strike.
You know, along those same lines, good job by Tommy too, because a lot of times the pitcher will do the same thing. They try to hurry up, and then the runner doesn't get a good jump, so he won't go.
And a soft fly ball to Jason Hayward in right. Hansen has the shutdown inning he was looking for. And now the top of the Braves offense looks to extend what is now a 2-1 lead. In part by McDonald's, by the Georgia Lottery, by Honda Lawn and Garden, and by Ram Trucks. Nice crowd tonight. Friday night fireworks after the ball game. Braves trying to win again, run their mark hopefully to 13-7 as we meet the Pirates for the first time this evening. Trivia time. Fellas, who was the last Pittsburgh Pirate to win a Silver Slugger Award?
We're so glad you're here, Tom, because we're in a slump.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Terrible slump.
We're in a slump, and the way the Pirates worked you over when you were pitching, you should probably remember this one.
Wow, did they work me over?
I don't know. I just figured you'd go with it.
They might have. Who did?
Actually, Tom, Joe's in a slump because there's no I in slump.
Ah, all right. All right, let me think about it a little bit.
Bourne goes the other way. There's a good start. And I hate to bring this up, but there's a little bit of lightning flashing off in the distance in right field at the ballpark.
I saw that. I was trying to ignore it.
What pitch is Michael going to run on?
I don't know, but one of the nice things about what AJ Burnett's done the last 2 innings is make pitches to bad locations. You talked about too good a pitch to Pasternicky for the RBI hit, and then he goes upstairs with a fastball. And when he started the game, he was throwing 94, 95. That was a 92 fastball up and away, and Bourne went with it. Just for the record, you were 20-12 against the Pirates with a 3.08. So there was not a lot of working you over. Make it 22-12. I beg your pardon.
All right.
I can see the relief on his face. No balls and a strike. AJ Burnett knows how big that run is potentially. His club doesn't score much, and he already trails 2-1. Even count now for Martin. Nice try, but foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's changing his delivery to the plate in an effort to prevent Bourne from getting a good jump. I mean, it's not exactly a slide step, but it's a real quick pick up and put down.
Yeah, it's not his normal leg kick.
No, it's not that high turn.
And I think AJ Burnett just broke a necklace. Now 2-2. Bourne starts the Braves 5th with a leadoff single to left. He's got a 2-hit game. Crowd are looking for one of those as well. Close play. Knock it back safely.
I don't think I would go here. 2-2. I'd let Martin swing away. If he throws another ball and it's 3-2, then you run 3-2.
Did he go? He did not. So, Joe, let's see if that is the strategy for Freddie Gonzalez, Martin Prado, and Michael Bourne here.
I'm like Tom, though. I thought that's the pitch he would have thrown to Pasternicky last inning to get him to chase when he was behind in the count. One that's hard to lay off.
Runner goes. Pitch is high, ball 4. Third walk for A.J. Burnett. The first 2 have scored. Let's hope that continues in the inning. 2 on, nobody out. Freddie Freeman's coming up. He's got some Georgia Power, and Georgia Power customers can get a free in-home energy audit performed by an energy expert from Georgia Power. There are ways to save money and energy around your home. To schedule an in-home energy audit, go to GeorgiaPower.com. The reigning player of the week in the National League. That's with 2 on and nobody out.
He has swung at the first pitch each of his first 2 times up.
Well, with that in mind, throw your best ground ball pitch right here.
Fly ball hit to right. A sinking fly ball and caught by Jones. Is that ball knuckling, Joe?
No, it was hooking. It had a lot of top spin, so it was sinking down in front of him. And he made a great play. The worst part is for a guy like Bourne to know whether or not it's going to drop, to take off, or did he short hop it? Do I need to run? But he made a great play. And Michael was really betwixt and between here. Good play by Jones.
So 2 on, 1 out. Here's Brian McCann. Brian struck out in the first, but maybe, Joe, a good sign in his last at bat when he flied out deep to left.
I love seeing him hit the ball with authority that way.
Grounded to the right side. Only 1 play, and Walker makes it to first. Braves this year have hit just 8 double plays. That's the fewest by any National League offense. And now with 2 outs, runners second and third for Dan Uggla. Dan's 0 for 2.
He knows there's a base open, but Chipper's behind him, and Chipper's had good luck against Burnett in his career. Dan's got to be a little picky here. He's got to get a good pitch early in the count.
That caught the inside corner. Strike 1. There's our Delta Airlines on deck batter, Chipper Jones. Great work against A.J. Burnett. A little bit low.
Rojas just took a look over his right shoulder to see who was on deck, as if he didn't remember. He knows Chipper's over there. Dan can afford to guess if he wants here, looking for something other than the fastball. I don't know what that was, but it wasn't his best heater.
No, it almost looked like a changeup. Maybe it was a sinker. Try to take a little bit off it, but it's a little bit of that cat and mouse game. Like I say, Dan can look for a pitch. Burnett with the base open is going to try and get Uggla to chase something. He doesn't want to just throw him a fastball down the middle just because Chipper Jones is on deck. So see who sticks to their game plan.
Full count.
It's like a two-seamer or something. He's almost cutting over the top of it like a sinker, huh?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a funny spin to it.
It was off the plate. Dan was trying to throw out around it and get it. Might have been ball 4.
That's over the outside corner, and A.J. Burnett made 2 very big pitches to Dan Uggla. The Braves strand a pair in scoring position, and that concludes the 5th inning. On we go to the 6th. Braves still lead the ball game 2-1. What a way to come home. A good ball game and 2 very solid performances by tonight's starting pitchers. In fact, they are our SunTrust solid performers.
A couple of 2-out hits for the Braves, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th. The difference in the game so far.
So now Tommy Hanson has to work through the middle of the Pirates order. It starts with Andrew McCutchen, who singled, stole a base, and scored the only Pirates run in the 4th. Matt Kemp first, McCutchen second in RBIs among National League center fielders last year. McCutchen has 6 this season and a .333 average. 1-2. He chased a high fastball, and Hanson strikes him out. There's a good start. That's Tommy's 4th. Here's Jones. He has the Pirates RBI. By the way, a defensive change for the Braves. David Ross is in behind the plate. We'll get word on why Brian McCann was taken out of the ball game. So it's Ross and Hanson, the Braves battery, in the top of the Pittsburgh 6th. That leads to the question, who's the Braves' emergency catcher?
Matt Diaz, be my guess.
Foul tipped, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pop fly foul behind the plate, and Jones is still alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Up the middle, Tommy with a kick save and a beauty. He's either smiling because he got lucky or he's grimacing because that hurt.
Ought to be a lot of shoe polish on that one. Dana DeMuth's making him laugh.
I know this. After seeing that guy, the Dodgers, take one off the chin, he's definitely not coming out of this game for getting one off the foot.
No. Fortunate thing was it dropped right there at his feet. So it had to be solid.
If you're going to get hit, you hope it always stays nearby so you can at least get an out of it.
And that pitcher in LA, Javi Guerra. I've never seen anything like that before. I always hate to see pitchers get hit with batted balls, but to see him stay in the game.
Yeah, that's surprising, but tough kid.
Walker down, a strike. Walker down, 2 strikes.
Good curveball. He hasn't thrown many curveballs tonight. A lot of fastballs and sliders. Good hook there.
And David Ross behind the plate to start the 6th. Brian McCann taken down for Atlanta. No word yet as to the reason for the change. Two balls, 2 strikes. He lost Walker. That'll bring up Pedro Alvarez, who's homered in 2 straight games for Pittsburgh, although tonight 0 for 1 with a walk.
The Pirates had a stretch of really bad luck in the late 90s, early 2000s drafting because of those records we talked about earlier. They were getting early picks in the draft. They were taking a lot of pitchers. They had some bad luck with guys really breaking down. Since then, they've had some good luck with position players. 2 of them back-to-back your first-round picks. Alvarez hitting now. Walker's at first. McCutchen hit this inning. He was a first-round pick.
And they've made some good deals. I mean, they got Charlie Morton from the Braves in the Nate McLeod deal. They get A.J. Burnett to help solidify the rotation. Eric Bedard, who we'll see in this series. No balls and a strike to Alvarez. He was Mike Minor's teammate at Vanderbilt for a couple of seasons.
What a team they had with David Price and Mike Minor
out there
at the top of your rotation.
2 balls and a strike. Braves bullpen is busy here in the 6th inning as Hansen's ready to throw. Pitch number 100.
Chris Medlin.
It's 3-1 to Alvarez. That 4th inning walk I mentioned, only the 2nd time he's walked all year. Minor foul, full count.
Freddie's going to play behind Walker, give him a little more room with the left-handed batter.
Swing and a miss. Alvarez down on strikes. And Tommy Hansen is into the bottom of the 6th inning with a 1-run lead. And look who's coming up for Atlanta. Chipper Jones. Chopping to their heart's content so far tonight. And that young man on the left is Zach Burrell, son of our great stage manager Valerie here at the ballpark. And Friday Night Braves baseball on Peachtree TV is presented by Olympia. Chipper Jones ready to go for Atlanta. And he rolls one through for a leadoff single.
Like a fastball, but again, it was one of those that maybe Burnett was trying to sink, and it didn't sink. Chipper was able to get out around it because it wasn't as hard, and found a good hole.
Jason Hayward bats. He's walked and scored tonight. He's also added his 7th stolen base. Braves trying to hand A.J. Burnett his 8th loss in 9 decisions in this ballpark. He's 1-7 all time with a 5.0 ERA at Turner Field.
It would be nice to have a couple of extra runs to work with, though, to see that happen.
Talked with Chipper before the game, asked him how the knee fared on that long flight back from Los Angeles. He said a little swelling, not too bad, not too uncomfortable. Says the knee is feeling a little better. To keep that in mind as he runs the bases if Jason Hayward splits a gap. This one, though, popped up. Rajas and foul ground is there, and that's out number 1.
Pitcher spot is due up next. Well, we'll see. I just got the answer to that. It's not Hansen that comes out on deck.
That's Juan Francisco. Right now, Tyler Pastornicky has the biggest hit in the game. A 2-out single in the 4th scored the last Atlanta run. And that's where we stand, 2-1 the score.
Yeah, his at-bats have really been the difference in the game. The leadoff walk came on to score the first run, and then that big 2-out base hit right there that played to the second run and gave the Braves the lead.
Been doing a lot of good things lately to help the Braves win.
I like guys that he seems to very consistently put the ball in play. He's going to strike out. He's going to do that a time or two, but he's making pretty consistent contact.
Well, I think with the rest of the guys in this lineup, you'd take 250 right now if he's playing good defense for you.
Looks outside, 2 balls and a strike.
I liked what he said when he got back in the lineup in LA, and that he spent a couple of days working with Greg Walker about getting back to his approach that he needed to take to be successful.
Chipper's running, and Pastornicky fouls it back to the screen.
That looked like a straight steal. Because Chipper, I don't think he ever looked back. He had his head down, never really knew the ball got fouled off until he saw the shortstop let him know it was a foul ball.
The wheels must be feeling good for Chipper. Down the right field line, long run, Jones, just foul.
Really going to find out how that knee's feeling now.
Uh-huh.
By the way, Chipper's got some new wheels too. His lovely wife Sharon, new pickup truck for the birthday.
Nice.
Guess what color? Gray.
For the old gray mare, of course.
Maybe silver, whichever way you prefer.
It'll be great to us.
Right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. At the knees, and Tyler knew it. So Burnett strikes him out. Chipper's at first. And it will be Juan Francisco to pinch it for Hansen.
Good pitch. That's 7 strikeouts for Burnett, and that's what he struck out in his 7 innings of work against the Cardinals.
Six innings of one-run baseball for Tommy tonight. Strike one from A.J. Burnett. This guy's got serious pop. 3 homers in just 30 at-bats this season, one of them a pinch hit homer. But not this time, as Burnett works around a leadoff single from Chipper Jones. This game moves along to the 7th. The pitching duel continues. The Braves, though, in front by a run. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you in part by AT Uverse, by Checkers, by Toyota, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors. 2-1 your score as we head to the 7th inning. Beautiful baseball night in Atlanta. Boy, it's great to be home. We're here for a week. 4 with the Pirates, 3 with the Phillies. Tommy Hansen departs after 6 innings of one-run baseball. And Chris Medlin answers the AT&T call to the bullpen, and he'll start with the bottom portion of the Pirates order.
He hasn't had a lot of work. He's had a lot of success, but he's only pitched once in the last 10 days, this being the 10th day, and that work was at L.A. on the 24th, and we're used to seeing him go multiple innings, and yet he only worked 2/3 of an inning on that occasion.
Let's see what Chris has in store with McGee, Barajas, and then we'll see. The pitcher spot due third. Strike one from Chris. McGee's been on base twice. He's walked. He has singled. He's quickly behind 0-2. Grounded to first. Easy play for Freddie Freeman. And McGee's retired for the first out. Here's our Jamison Inn upcoming schedule. Good matchups all weekend long in this Braves Pirates series.
See Randall Delgado run out there again tomorrow night against Eric Bedard, who has an 0-4 record and a good ERA. That's kind of tough to live with, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You're doing your job and you're getting nothing to show for it. So that's a double-edged sword there.
Tim Hudson out there Sunday. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it'd be good to see Huddy back out there.
Tim said he's glad he's not rehabbing with Class A hitters. He said, I don't think I'd survive a ball these days.
Well, apparently that was the case with A.J. Burnett, too. He got lit up in A ball, too.
He sure did.
I'm telling you, those guys, they don't know you're setting them up. They're just looking for the ball.
Barajas drives one deep toward left. Prado on the run. Bourne is there as well. And Martin up against the fence has just enough room.
That sounded too good to stay in the park. Martin calling for it all the way. Nice play.
So the bases are empty and 2 are out. And our old friend Nate McLouth will come on and pinch hit.
Most of his at bats, I believe, have come as a pinch hitter. Well, 5 of them, 0 for 5.
Strike one. Nate's a good guy. It just didn't work out here in Atlanta for him. Nate hit .257 in 2009 in 84 games. Slumped to .190 in 2010. Hit .228 last year.
And he admitted that playing in Pittsburgh and playing in Atlanta are very different in terms of expectations.
High full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
He's still a dangerous hitter if you pitch him down and in.
Little flare, shallow center. Ugla going out past Herneke. Did Ugla catch it? Yes, he did. Unbelievable grab.
Neither one were going to let that one drop. Either one could have caught it. And then they crossed gloves.
Simply awesome. And Ugla added to the fun with a great catch to help preserve the lead, and it's our Toyota play of the game.
And again, both guys keeping their eye on the baseball, not really knowing or concerned about where their middle infield partner was, but it's Ugla who comes up with it and hangs on. Hey, where's everybody?
Want a little love from the second base umpire. He's like, oh, no, wait a minute. No, you can't do that. Yeah.
What's a guy got to do, huh?
That was pretty good.
So left-hander Tony Watson, the pride of Sioux City, Iowa, comes on to pitch in relief of A.J. Burnett, who went 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks. 2 of those walks scored. Watson's a 9th round pick by the Pirates back in 2007. This kid was an acclaimed high school pitcher in Iowa. Bourne drives one to center. McCutcheon, though, is going to have room. And there's the first out. In 2003, Tony Watson won the Bob Feller Award as the Iowa High School Pitcher of the Year. He threw 3 no-hitters and had a state record 0.10 ERA.
That's pretty good.
And then went on to the University of Nebraska.
Well, he doesn't have quite that ERA, but he's doing a real good job with opposing hitters. They're only 3 for 23 against him so far on the year. And right-handed hitters are 0 for 9.
Well, let's see if Martin can change that. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI.
It's a good luxury to have, a left-handed lane inning guy that can get lefties out and has no problems with righties either.
Low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good change up.
There is the first hit by a right-handed hitter. Multi-hit game for Martin. He's 2 for 3. Freeman was robbed of a hit on a diving catch by Garrett Jones in the 5th. Braves have seen a lot of left-handed pitching. They've done very well against it after the first 4 games of the season.
First pitch swing, what do you think?
I was going to say the odds are good, but not this time.
Not this time. 3 out of 4 on the night.
Freddie hitting .314 against lefties this year. One ball, 1 strike.
Well, on the West Coast, heard you guys talking. I mean, player of the week and all that, and his dad was out there. Did he take your advice and bring Dad back east with him, or?
I don't think so.
Oh man, what's wrong with him? Clearly, he doesn't know the rules of superstitions yet.
Yeah. Not unless that was his dad dressed as Mac Honey on the Delta Charter.
For his sake, I hope not.
No swing. Back, of course, our favorite Delta Charter rep.
He's the best.
He is the best.
And by the way, it's Connie Mac Pony.
That's right.
Good eye for Freeman. The Braves have made a lot of hay with walks from the Pirates tonight. That's the 4th walk issued by the Pittsburgh club. Both Atlanta runs have come as a result of walks. Now it's David Ross's turn.
Oops, sorry, Chip. That's only the 5th walk for Freeman in 77 at bats.
Now remember, Brian McCann came out of this ball game about 2 innings ago. We have not received any word as to why he departed. David Ross took over behind the plate. Pat's in his spot on Freddie Gonzalez's lineup card. Ray Searage is the pitching coach for the Pirates. David Ross has been a very big secret weapon in reserve for the Braves so far in 2012. Let's see what he can do here in the 7th.
We saw as that series went on in LA how difficult it was to hit the ball out of the ballpark, any part of the park, let alone center field. And he hit one well over the camera position out there in center field. Crushed it.
Well, a homer would be nice. A gapper would be better. Maybe easier. Let's see. Here's Ross. 2 on, 1 out. Ball 1 outside. Two balls, no strikes.
So he's given up his first hit to a right-handed batter this inning. He's also issued his first walk of the year.
He's already given up a home run. Maybe he hasn't given up a triple.
There you go. At this point, one more run is big right now. Take an RBI single and then go from there.
It had a good cut. 2 balls and a strike.
Fastball 94. Doesn't look like he's throwing that hard.
And was
very deceptive.
Was Barajas crossed up?
No.
Maybe just going up and telling him, hey, that was a really good pitch. Let's do that again.
Watching the Braves game the other night in LA. David Ross hit a homer on a fastball about belt high, middle in. Let's not throw one there. Almost did. Got away with it.
That's a tough thing about doubling up sometimes. When you throw that first one really good, your tendency is to throw the next one even better and squeeze it a little harder or hold on a little longer and make a mistake.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And he missed with ball 3.
Must have been a little in.
I was going to say high.
Just sounded like a ball.
Didn't look like one.
3-2. Again, time granted. The bases are loaded. And let's see what Clint Hurdle does now. He's going to say, "Your night's over, Mr. Watson."
He's got Evan Meek ready in the pen.
So Watson retires Michael Bourne. He will leave with the bases loaded. Game on the base paths for the Braves in the 7th. As we continue in the bottom of the 7th inning, Tommy Hanson and A.J. Burnett right now the pitchers of record. Both pitched pretty good ball. Big hit by Tyler Pasternakey. Brian McCann left in the 6th inning. No update on that. And here's how the runs scored tonight, fellows.
Clutch 2-out hit by Martin Prado brought the first run in. That was in the 3rd inning. And then with a runner at second and nobody out, Garrett Jones drove in the Pirates run. And then the Braves manufactured one in the 4th. After Hayward walked, he stole second, scored on a 2-out hit by Pasternakey.
And the Meek shall inherit the earth at the center of the diamond. Evan Meek on to pitch for the Pirates with the bases loaded and 1 out. Dan Uggla 0 for 3. No place to put him, and that's a good start. 1 ball, no strikes. Line to right center field. That's going to get down. 1 run scores. Freddie around third. He will score. Ugla doubles. 4-1.
He's now 3 for 4 with 2 doubles off Evan Meek. And this is the second or third time we've seen him in the past week or so since he's gotten hot of going the other way. And for Dan, hitting one to a little bit of right center, that's going the other way for him. High fastball.
High fastball. Put a good swing on it and drove it in that gap. Big base hit right there. 3-run lead this late in the game for the Pirates offense is a lot to come back from.
Now Chipper bats with runners second and third, 1 out. He takes a quick strike.
Dan follows up that terrific catch in the top of the 7th with a big hit here in the bottom half.
Most runs Pittsburgh's allowed this year is 5. It's been a long time since they've allowed more than that. Braves have a great chance to do that with a base hit from Chipper, but he's down 0-2. Pittsburgh's walked 5 men in the game. 3 of them have scored so far. Line left, base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Ugla. He'll score without a throw.
Another high fastball, Tommy. Braves are doing a great job of leveling off on that high pitch, just as Martin did earlier tonight when he drove in a run with 2 outs on a high pitch. And this time it's Chipper going the other way.
Yeah, that's something that Chipper's done an awful lot over the course of his career. You get that fastball out over the plate when he's hitting from the left side. Does a nice job usually of driving that ball hard the other way.
Here's Jason. He jumps the first pitch, pops it up behind third. And Alvarez has that. And that's out number 2.
One thing that surprised me there, and I realized that ball was slicing a little bit toward the line, but Dan Ugla's got a freeze. Well, with the infield playing in, maybe he didn't. Yeah, he did. But Presley didn't even make an effort to come home with that ball. Look at that. I mean, he came up flat-footed, not intending to throw to the plate at all. Thank you very much.
So the Braves, the first team to score more than 5 against Pittsburgh. Lead now 6-1. Here's Tyler Pasternicki. Ball, 1 strike. Little roller right side. McGee feeds Meek. And that retires the side. The Braves get 4 runs in the 7th inning. They cash in 2 walks. Dan Ugla doubles home a pair. Chipper Jones singles home a pair. And we're through 7 with a 5-run lead.
Up here as we go to the 8th. We're going to look at a couple of video replays of Brian McCann. We still don't know why he came out of the game. This was the play on the pitch out where they gunned down Presley. Everything looked fine there. This was his last at bat on a ground out, and didn't seem to pull up lane there. And we still don't have any word yet as to why he came out of the game.
Nope. Haven't
Just
heard.
hope that he's okay.
So hopefully we'll get word before we leave air tonight. As the Braves have broken open this game. Alex Presley, the leadoff man for the Pirates, goes to work in the 8th. Chris Medlin on for another inning.
I know he's not left-handed, but don't you love watching Chris Medlin pitch?
Oh, yeah. Give me the ball. Let me go.
Two. Straight back off the bat of Presley. We'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kind of a repeat of the first inning where Presley fought off 11 pitches from Tommy Hanson. Making Medlin work here in this 8th inning. 2 hits for Presley, 1 a bunt hit, and he's got an 11-game hitting streak that will take into play tomorrow night. Wow, what a grab in the upper deck, one-handed. Slow roller. Agla has to get rid of it fast. And he gets his man. 1 man down. All right, we've had a while, fellas, to think about our AT trivia question tonight. Can you name the last Pirate to win the Silver Slugger?
I don't want to go all the way back to their heyday. I know there's got to be somebody, so the only guy I can think of is Freddie Sanchez.
I'm going to go outside the box. I love that pick and go Jack Wilson.
I'm going to go Jason Kendall.
Very nice. Look at you. See, it's just being around me. Get you back on track. The knowledge oozes from me.
It helped a lot. It really did. I was really scared that you were going to pick Jack, and then I didn't have anywhere to go.
Armas rips 1 foul. 0-2. That's the funny thing about the Pirates clubs. I mean, they've had good players and groups of good players during this long dry spell of losing baseball. Wilson certainly one of them, a defensive whiz too in Pittsburgh, now working for the Braves. Oh, that just missed. Good too, fellas, to see the Braves continuing the road trip momentum tonight. First game back, long trip, rough travel. As a little fly ball in right should be handled by Hayward. He's got it. And they ran into a tough pitcher in A.J. Burnett. Got the lead against him and then have broken the game open against the Pittsburgh Pen.
Well, they're doing what they need to do. I went, they caught Arizona at the right time. A couple guys out of the lineup, but you know what? So what? You catch them at the right time. You take advantage of it. You go into L.A. You beat a good ball club in that ballpark, and then, like you say, you come home, and then you get a team that's struggling offensively. Another team that you should take care of business with.
Braves were 4-2 against the Pirates last year, but just 2-2 here at Turner Field. Line and caught at third. Who is that guy?
He's been everywhere again tonight. Chipper Jones handles a bullet at the hot corner and ends the Pittsburgh eighth.
Time for our Home Depot tools from the dugout, and tonight our tools are part of what we have. This great Exmo technology. Out a great replay on the catch by Ugla, and how about his swing on high fastball, and then lastly that great play by Chipper. Love that Exmo. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's a good camera there.
Good glove work for Chipper. Ends the top of the eighth inning. Braves bats go back to work here in the bottom half. And Chris Medlin will hit for himself with Atlanta up 5 runs. Again, the ability that Freddie Gonzalez and Roger McDowell have to have relievers work multiple innings. You have Medlin, you have Martinez, you have Ivan Hernandez down there. And that's a big advantage.
Well, how about this? He's hitting for himself, so if he stays in the game and works the ninth, he's going to earn a 3-inning save. Last 3-inning save for the Braves was in September of '09 at New York.
Yeah, and Medlin on an 0-2 pitch singles to right.
And you'd be hard pressed to know who the guy who got the save was that night in relief of Derek Lowe. The Braves won the game 11-3. Here's the base hit again. Good hitters never miss those hanging sliders.
No, they don't.
Last guy with a 3-inning save for Atlanta, Kenshin Kawakami.
Wow.
There goes tomorrow night's trivia question.
1 ball 1 strike to Michael Bourne. Michael's got a 2-hit game. Braves have 10 hits in total. Slow roller hit towards second. And Medlin with good base running allowed Michael Bourne to scamper down the line and beat the Rap at first. Mentioned the Braves very pleased with the way they're running the bases. There's another example.
It's just another good athlete out there on the base path.
You know what? I was just going to say that I'm going to bow to the pressure. For all the times I've said that their pitchers are just non-athletes, that does not apply to Chris Medlin. Well done.
Now, if we can just get him to fix the bill of his cap, he'll be in good shape.
The ball's in a strike to Martin. Do finally get word from the Braves PR department about Brian McCann. He left the game with a right intercostal strain.
That's a similar ribcage injury that plagued him at the end of the season.
And according to Brad Hange, the Braves PR man, Brian's playing status day to day. One ball and 2 strikes. To center. McCutchen is there. 2 out.
The Braves are proud to welcome American Idol champ and country music sensation Scott McCreery to Turner Field on Saturday, May the 26th, presented by Coca-Cola and Delta. Enjoy the free post-game concert when you purchase a ticket to the game. Visit Braves.com/tickets or call 1-800-745-3000.
Here's Freddie. He's singled, he's walked, and he's scored tonight. Good stop by Barajas. 1 ball, no strikes.
That's going to be a tough call for the Braves with McCann, because you got a guy that's day to day. A lot of times you can wait a couple of days and see, but when he's with your catcher, when you're only carrying 1 extra, puts you in a pretty tough position.
I'm hoping it's something that just kind of cropped up tonight, and that he was smart enough to recognize that if he went back out there, he might make it worse.
Line back to the mound. Wow. The Braves have been hitting comebackers at the opponents the last couple of games. Meek tumbles and hangs on for dear life. Wow. We head to the 9th. save. It's a 6-1 game. This will be his 3rd inning. And he's got the middle of the Pirates order coming up in inning number 9. Six up, 6 down for Chris. Big night for Chipper Jones. Couple of hits, couple of RBIs. Dan Ugler with a big RBI double that plated 2 runs. He's also scored tonight. 8th time this year the Braves have double digits in hits too.
Tommy Hanson had some long innings, rather long innings in the 3rd and 4th. He gave up the 1 run in the 4th inning, left a couple of guys on base to end that inning. But the last hit the Pirates got was that bunt single by Presley in the 5th inning. They've only had 1 man reach since then, and that was a walk to Walker.
Here's Jones. He has the lone Pirate run batted in. Again, Pittsburgh struggling oh so mightily this year on offense. 1 run, 6 hits again for them tonight. Joe, how many more runs did you say the Pirates, or excuse me, the Braves had scored than Pittsburgh?
Coming into tonight, they had scored 41, 60 fewer than Atlanta. That was coming in. They had 38 RBIs as a team, which is 58 less than the Braves. That is up to date.
Foul at first. Jones, a 1-2 count. Phillies lost tonight. The Marlins lost tonight. The Mets are winning tonight. Washington's in LA to play the Dodgers, and just underway tonight. Easy hop. Medlin to the bag. 1 away in the 9th.
Dodgers have already put 2 across in the bottom of the 1st against Washington.
Makes you wonder if Matt Kemp did something.
Mets are playing good baseball. I mean, everybody was upset about going to New York and getting swept, and rightfully so, because the Braves weren't swinging the bats at the beginning week. But it's not like New York has just gone in the tank since then. They're 11-8 and have won 3 in a row. They swept the Marlins.
And a couple of teams in the East starting to be riddled with injuries. The Mets certainly one of them. Jason Bay's hurt. Pelfrey's hurt. May need arm surgery. Nationals are all banged up. As Medlin leaps at the mound, he'll take away a hit try by Neil Walker. 2 outs. 9 straight retired.
There's that athletic ability.
I didn't want to say anything, but I just like to watch. Take it in.
By the way, it wasn't Matt Kemp. It was Andre Ethier for the Dodgers that got him ahead in the 1st. So it could be a very profitable night for the Braves, as Medlin will try to retire Pedro Alvarez and start this homestand off in great shape.
This would be Chris's first big league save.
And the first 3 inning save since Kenshin Kawakami did it for Atlanta. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He'll throw the changeup in any count at any time. I just saw him right before the 2-2 pitch. He looked up at the ribbon board over here right in front of the club level, I think, to check the count. Did you ever get caught up at times you had to check? Or
yeah, every now and then you kind of lose track and you have to find somewhere to remind yourself.
He lost Alvarez. First Pirate to reach against Medlin tonight. And now it's Casey McGee. Little tapper. Medlin's got it, and he's got the save. His first, and the Braves win the first game of this set with the Pirates. Final score from Turner Field: Atlanta 6, Pittsburgh 1. Back to talk about it here at Turner Field in a moment.